Hello there, PBS students. So I wanted to explain to you a bit about this digital bulletin board assignment that I'm asking you to do. So if you see when you open up the slides, you'll see that it has just a little description here about what I'm asking you to do. So basically, just imagine there's this blank digital bulletin board, and I would like you to fill it up with information, helping for me and the rest of the class to get to know about you a little bit more. So I'd like for you to include at least 10 things to share with us a little bit more about you. So I put some ideas down, but you can definitely be creative and use some other ideas that you have as well. So there's three requireds. First off, your name. So if you put your first and last name, that'd be great. Second, your class period. And I know that you guys are all red one, but if you'd put that on there, that would be great. And then also somewhere on your bulletin board, include a picture of you. And it can be a selfie, that's fine. Or if you have something else that's another, like your senior portrait that you want to put on there, you can do that too. Then some other ideas, you can include other pictures of family, friends, or pets. You can include any of your favorites. So I have several ideas listed there. Talk about some of your hobbies or your goals. If you have a favorite sport or team, you can put your favorite food on there, your favorite subject to learn about, a hobby that you enjoy, thinking about the futures or college that you're interested in attending, a place you want to visit, something you did over the summer, your favorite quote. But like I said, that's really not limiting you. Your choices are whatever you want to come up with, but I would like at least 10 things. Then I'm going to ask you, once you have that all put together, and you'll see on the second slide that it's a blank bulletin board. So that's what you can use to copy and paste or insert your photos or things that you have. And then you can kind of have fun with it, place them wherever. You can put them diagonal or, all sorts of fun stuff. But once you're finished with that, I would like you to make a little video, kind of like what I'm doing here, and post sharing your particulars. So it says if you look on slides 3 and 4, it will show you how you can make a video with your presentation. And what I'm using right now is Screencast-O-Matic. That's what I use for a lot of my recording. I think it's pretty user-friendly. So if you go to that third slide, there's a link for you to click on and it'll tell you the details. Or you can also do Zoom if you'd prefer to do that. That's what slide 4 tells you about. So whichever one works better for you, use it. And I'm asking you that you, when you record it, show the screen and also the webcam so we can see your face. That would be lovely. And it said, once you're done with all this, please complete and submit it through Canvas by Friday for the A through K students or Monday for the L through M students. And please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. So I just wanted to make sure that that made sense as far as what I'm asking you to do. And now it's my turn to share my board with you. Now with Screencast-O-Matic, you have up to 15 minutes to record. Don't feel like you have to use all that time, but use whatever is necessary. And then, like I said, on our next class meeting, I will share everyone's videos with the class. So if you take a look, it said to put your name. So there's my name, Mrs. Linde, and my first name is Heather. That's me. Here's my little selfie. I took it here in the classroom. And I put this apple here with 17 in it because it's hard to believe, but this is my 17th year of teaching. So crazy how fast time goes by. And I think of all the great students that I've met and worked with in that time, and it's pretty incredible. I love teaching, so of course I had to put my apple there. But be able to share what I know, but then also learn from my students and forming relationships with students. Those are definitely my favorites with teaching. I put a running shoe on here because I love to be active. In fact, most mornings I go out running. And this is usually he goes with me, my dog, Harry Potter. His name is that because he has this lightning bolt on his chest. He's a German wire-haired pointer, and I just adore him. He's a little puppy still. He just turned 2, but I shouldn't say little because he's huge, so he fits in with the rest of my family. So speaking of family, here's a family photo that we took over the summer, and we were actually in Spearfish Park. But you can see here's me, and over on the other side, there's my husband, Dan, and his face might look familiar because he works here at Central as well. And then next to him is our oldest son, Bodie, who is starting up 6th grade at South this year. And then in my arms is our youngest son, Sawyer, and he just started in the Busy Bee class at the Y. So my family is awesome. I love them, and we love to hang out together. That's one of my favorite things to do. I put this picture here dealing with the human body because I love the body and learning about it and how it works. But also, I put a picture of the endocrine system because I have an issue with my endocrine system, and I am a type 1 diabetic. So I also included this picture here showing an individual with an insulin pump connected, and then also this kind of ladybug looking like thing on her abdomen is a sensor, and I have both of those things to help keep me safe. And so I just ask you guys to just be aware and know that I'm a diabetic, and sometimes my pump beeps. It's not my cell phone, somebody sending me a text, but it's my pump just alerting me. So if you ever hear that beep, don't be afraid to speak up and ask. Or if I'm acting a little different than normal, don't be afraid to ask if I'm doing okay. But that's just with me dealing with having diabetes. And if you ever see me eating a snack, it's not so I can be like, oh, I can eat because I'm the teacher and you can't, but it's just to make sure that my blood sugar is where it's supposed to be so I can stay safe and healthy. I put a picture here of a passport because I love to travel, and I've been to Mexico and Canada, but also Germany and Peru, and so it's fun to get out and explore. Speaking of Peru, that was an awesome trip. It was a class I took in college that I signed up for, and it was phenomenal. It still feels like it wasn't real, and it also felt like we walked through a National Geographic magazine the whole time we were there. Average temperature was like 112 degrees, which is really hot, but it was just gorgeous. And to see all the wildlife and all the plants, it was an incredible way to learn. So I highly encourage you to look for opportunities like that because there's so much out there to learn and explore. With that goes my little poster here. It says, nature is a tool to get children to experience not just the wider world, but themselves. So I definitely feel that that's true, and I love to be outdoors and go exploring and see what I can learn. That's one of my favorite things. I put another quote here that I think is great that has to do with mindset. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you have that mindset that I can do this, kind of like the little engine that could, have that mindset, I can do this, and then you're going to do whatever you can to make it happen. And know that I'm going to be there cheering for you that whole time. I also put some music notes here because I love music. Oftentimes there's a song playing in my head, but also my oldest son, Bodie, is amazing with music. He plays the guitar. That's his favorite instrument. We have, I would say, at least 50 instruments at home, and we love to have just little family musicals. Not that we all know how to play all of them, but we just kind of have fun doing that. And we don't have a TV in our house, so it allows us to have some great free time, right? Bonding. And also with the pandemic, it was really cool because my son Bodie hosted a Facebook Live concert every week. So it was a great way for him to be able to perform for family and friends that we couldn't hang out with. So I encourage you to look for ways to be creative, but also stay connected to those people that matter to you, especially now during these times where that gets a little bit more difficult. I put some books because I just love to learn, and I put colorful books because I love colors and bright things. Then last but not least, I put some of my education background. So after high school, I went to the University of South Dakota, and I chose to go there because I had a full ride scholarship, so I didn't have to pay for any college, which was great. My last year there, I was able to go on national student exchange. So I went to Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa for a semester. And the reason that I chose to go there, I know it's not that far away, but I had a really close friend that played Division I women's basketball. And so I wanted to be able to go and cheer her on and go to an even larger school. So I had a great experience there. I even got to practice with their team a whole bunch, and I had so much fun. And I enrolled in all these different classes that I couldn't take at USD, so I was able to learn so much. And that's where I did the Amazon class. So totally look for opportunities like that. Then once I graduated college, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Originally, I thought I wanted to become a doctor, and then I decided, well, maybe that's not quite the right path for me. So I have done a lot of things with kids my whole life. And so I said, you know what? I think I want to look at teaching. And so I moved back here to Rapid after I did AmeriCorps for a year. I lived in Omaha, Nebraska, and worked in some pretty high risk areas with kids that were at risk of not reaching their full potential. And I had so much fun teaching these kids life lessons and social skills. Many of them came from Sudan, which was a country in Africa, so helping them with English, and just lots of really incredible things that I taught them, but also they taught me too. It was a great experience. So I thought, yeah, working with kids is great. So I moved back here, got married, and then worked at Burquest Elementary School the last 2 years that it was open, and I was a parapro, and I helped kindergartners and fourth graders with reading and math, and I just had a blast. And I said, yes, I think I definitely need to be in the classroom. And so because of my love of science, and I had a biology degree, I decided that, yeah, I would love to be able to teach science. And so it was really cool because Black Hills State University started this program where you could get certified to become a teacher in a year as long as you were certified in something that was a class basically taught in middle school or high school. So I went through that certification, and while I was doing that, I was able to student teach at Central. I worked under, or student taught, I should say, with Dr. Farrar, and I learned so much. So I did a semester here, and then I did a semester at North Middle School. And then before I was even done with the program, I was hired here at Central, and I've been here ever since. So I did that program through BH. And then after I taught for a few years, I went to school again, and I did this all while I was teaching. But I went through SDSU because I tried to get, as many of the universities under my belt as I could. So I did that all online and classes in person at Tech, but it was through SDSU to get my administrative degree so I could become a principal someday if I wanted to. But it was great to see and learn about the other side of things and get some great leadership information and things like that. So I definitely consider myself a lifelong learner, and I am definitely looking forward to working with you guys and getting to know you. And I can't wait to hear and see what you choose to put on your bulletin boards. So when you're finished, you will save the presentation, and oftentimes what it will usually do is ask you to put it on your YouTube channel. And so just kind of follow along with those steps. And then what you'll do is you will just submit your video when you're all finished. And like I said, A through K students, if you could turn this in to me by this Friday, and then L through Z students, if you could turn it in by Monday, and that way I can put them all together so that we will have a nice little presentation that we can watch with you all next week. So thank you so much, guys. See you later.